Hey guys, welcome back to the Outcast podcast. We are out here booling. That sounded like a fake ass laugh.
What?
Anyways, I'm joined by is over 9K.
Say it, Crits.
What thing? What? There's multiple things you could have me say.
I don't know. Make something up on the fly right now. On the
This
spot.
is me face palming.
Can
Deus Volt Infidels, we will take Jerusalem on the day of Area 51 raid. Yeah.
That's new intro.
all right.
There we go.
Let me continue introductions. You should have said that after I introduced you, Crit. Anyways, I'm also joined by Carson
Of course.
and Crits.
You already heard me screaming. It's fine.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's here too.
So 9K went on a camping trip.
Oh God, we're going.
Tell us
right
about
into
that.
already.
I've been wanting to ask.
fresh in
you.
your memory.
Did
Did anything crazy happen? Did a bear eat your butthole?
a bear luckily did not eat anyone's butthole this time.
That sounds really unfortunate.
This time.
I wasn't there.
Hold on.
Whoa!
This
Are
Carson's
you
a bear.
I am bear.
And just to
Arrgh.
clarify, what a bear is to the homosexual community is a fat, hairy man.
Fat, hairy,
Fuck.
gay man.
Carson now realizes his mistake and is going to go into hiding.
Yep.
Remember when I found out what a bear meant? My friend started sending me pictures. I was like, this is gross, dude.
Oh no.
But anyways, 9K, was there anything interesting that happened during your trip?
Yeah, lots of stuff. Basically, it was just like camping, but all right, well, just to say what we were going for. In Quebec, Notre Dame du Nord,
Yes.
they have a truck rodeo. Fucking Quebec.
Fuck you.
Yeah, anyways, I had to go deal with the French for a few days, which is always fun, not. And
Deal with
they
the
do a
French.
yearly they do a yearly truck rodeo. So basically what it is there's a hill in Notre Dame and they drag race trucks up the hill. They do 3 different series and then there's a loaded category as well. So you'll have like C class, B class, A class, or actually there's 4. C, B, A, unlimited, and then loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So C is basically stock truck, B is mildly modified, A is like heavily modified trucks, and then unlimited series is do whatever the hell you want to do to your truck to get it up the hill as fast as you can. There's a guy last year that ended up putting a tugboat turbo in his truck, and
Jesus
that was
Christ.
pretty intense.
Oh, are we talking like pickups or semis?
We're talking like trucking coach, like freighters, like Freightliners and stuff.
I just think it's so hilarious how this sounds like the most American thing ever, but it happened in Canada.
Oh,
I'm telling you, we are very, very, very hillbillies.
You
yeah.
are America's hat.
You're Canada's bitch.
Did anybody crash?
No crashes.
That's
That
unfortunate.
doesn't typically
Aw.
happen. No, it's the reason they. I mean, they're pretty hard to crash unless they're unlimited series, and then they get kind of sideways going up the hill sometimes. You're
like a
more
challenge.
likely to see somebody hit a barrier when they're doing loaded series, just because of the torque that happens.
That must.
So,
Damn.
Sorry, what?
I was just kind of like, there should have been crashes.
Yeah, no, it's not that long. It really isn't. It's just one hill to just go up the hill. But they get really fast. Like, you just have to look it up. If you look it up on YouTube, I mean, you'll get tons of videos on it. The other thing is like,
Was that where that picture came from of that one?
All of the pictures I was posting came from that.
Yes.
Okay. That's so I'm referring to a picture I'd seen online recently of a semi truck just kind of driving, and its entire engine block blows out of it. The entire thing.
Oh no.
That's
That
normal.
was just a
That's what I'm
different video. No, that didn't happen at that event.
Oh,
It's normal though.
That would have been cool though. They
It's-
do shit a lot of drive shafts up the hill though.
It's
Usually
called
twist them into pretzels.
what the engine did. It's called the French exit.
The French exit. Jesus.
you could.
It's the amplified version of tossing a rod.
Toss my rod any day.
No, and
Mackie, where's Mackie? Mackie.
Oh no, no,
He's
stop.
sick.
No. He's not allowed.
Sick from tossing Dre's rod.
No.
It makes sense now. Now I understand what happened.
No.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we're not allowed nice things.
I mean, it was really cool though, because like, think of it like this. I mean, they're at a dead stop. All in all, the weight on them, like when you get the truck loaded up to the trailer and they're going uphill, they're pulling about 100,000 pounds from a dead stop to full bore RPM up the hill. So you can understand why a lot of them end up getting dragged out of there by tow trucks and whatnot. They usually end up blowing up or breaking pieces.
I feel like this is a very car person thing, isn't it? Or is it a truck person thing? Is there a difference? Because I'm not much of a car person, so I don't understand.
No, not necessarily. Like, oh, okay, well, for instance, like my girlfriend, she knows nothing about cars when it comes to working on them, but she was totally opposed to going last year to it and ended up having a lot of fun and actually enjoyed it this year too.
Oh, okay. So it's just like this is a
lot of
really
it's
just
camping.
like just a simple thing to do.
It's something to do, and in a world where there's next to fuck all to do these days, it's kind of nice to get out of the house. I mean, we gave us a chance to go camp, and we camped for 2 nights, and then just sitting around a fire, shooting the shit, drinking beers, and then going up and watching trucks drag race each other, make a bunch of noise, and drink beers up there too. It's just brainless entertainment, right?
Dude, if we ever get the chance to go camping together, all of us, we gotta do psychedelics.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you gotta go to rodeo.
Nah, we gotta do psychedelics. I mean, I know Crit's not gonna do it, so he's gonna be the sitter. But
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, it's a good thing that you're doing it while camping, because I know a shit ton of old.
I have tried
psychedelics.
shrooms camping. That's
80s,
actually the best.
not
time.
80s. Is it old 70s and 80s movies that I have made publicly known? If I have to watch you while you're on drugs, you're gonna be watching one of those, and I'm not gonna feel bad if you trip balls. Because those movies alone are drug trips, let alone being on actual drugs.
I've never done psychedelics, so it'd be a trip, a literal
You
trip.
just gotta be in the right mind for it. As long as you're in a good place and you're fine.
Yeah, I know. Right now, I would never do it, because I'm not in the right mind.
Obviously, it depends on what psychedelic we're talking about as well. But most people, when they say psychedelics for the first time, they generally talk about shrooms.
I'd probably do shrooms or LSD.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go to LSD or any sort of acid.
Yeah, I don't plan on doing it a lot. I just kind of want to experience it.
Yeah.
I'm
Shrooms
just a
are
good
interesting,
Christian boy.
But for sure, weed. Fuck yeah, hell yeah.
Weed.
It's really hard to sleep. It's really hard to focus.
With
colors
what?
and
With
shit.
like psychedelics.
With shrooms.
With shrooms?
Yeah, with shrooms. It depends though. I mean, it all depends on what kind of what amount you take for your first time. Like if you're doing a gram or two just to kind of start, and then going through the trip from there.
Yeah. Oof, that'd be interesting.
Most people it lasts for this isn't where you smoke weed and 10-15 minutes later you can come down from it. This is something where you're very much experiencing a high for quite a while.
Yeah,
commitment.
Because isn't
That's why you don't want to have
shrooms they can last for a couple hours.
hours. Yeah.
Jesus. With weed, it's 2-3 hours.
Yeah, about the 2-hour mark, you don't even feel it anymore.
Yeah.
Depends on what you've got.
Yeah. But with shrooms, I heard that it can go up to 8 hours.
It all depends on how much you do as well, though.
God, I'm gonna fucking die.
We went camping when we did it the first time, and it was great. It was just kind of random. It wasn't really planned. It was just kind of sprung on us. We were all just kind of sitting around a fire. We had finished an 8-hour paddle, and one of our buddies, Johnny, ended up busting at a bag, and it just kind of passed around the fire. Everybody took a pinch, and we were all kind of in the same boat. So it wasn't like one person was picking on another person or fucking with your high. You just got to enjoy the fact that you were outside and there was a fire.
Oh, fuck those guys.
I think Chris is gonna be that person if we ever do it.
I
mean,
did kind
I
of
hope
fuck
no.
with my one buddy Josh one time. He was standing by the water's edge, and I had those little black cat firecrackers.
Oh
I don't know
no!
anything about those. When you light them and throw them underwater, they don't go out. They still explode underwater. They don't make a big bang, but they make a pop and they illuminate the water. Very effective when somebody's fucked up on shrooms.
Fuck, dude.
Evil.
Like I've never done shrooms or anything like that before, but holy shit, I can imagine that was just terrifying.
I walked up to him, and the reason I knew he was pretty solid into his high was because he was watching the trees, and I was just like, Josh, what are you doing, man? And he's like, oh, the trees, they're so peaceful. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, just the way that they're moving, like they're just so peaceful. I'm like, oh, okay. Who's a black cat?
Jesus.
Here's a firecracker. Have fun.
Yeah, he's just watching the water and seeing the illuminations in the water with the little pops, and it's just fucking with them.
Did I get like
So what'd
that
you
when I was
guys
high?
do this weekend?
Work, dude. All I did was go to work and then come home and just. I did. I recently started streaming a lot of Roblox.
Really? Yeah. You're getting into the Roblox, huh?
Yeah, it's unfortunately pretty fun.
It's funny because I started playing it and I had a lot of fun, and then you guys all quit on me and left me there alone.
Nah, dude, I'm down. Want to play tonight after the podcast?
Hell yeah, I'll play some Roblox.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
I'm down for that.
Fuck yeah.
I ain't got much going on.
I've got to make a video of American Truck Simulator if you want to give me a hand with that, because I had an idea that what I'm going to do is take some of the footage I've got from my phone and just kind of clip it together and make a clip with gaming and then the truck rodeo. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Huh. I haven't played that game in a while, so.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't know. I've always liked those kind of games, like simulators, any kind of simulator.
Me too. I mean, I mainly like the only simulator that I really truly invested my time in was Arma, and
Okay.
that can be a mix between simulator and game, like just a regular game. But I invested a lot of my time into like the Wasteland,
Like the modding side of it, or
well, there was the non-modded side that I invested my time into, which was called Wasteland. And have you ever played Arma?
I have. I've tried it. To be dead honest with you, the only time I played Arma 3 was on a free weekend, and I had purchased Arma 2 and played it a bit. Never really truly got into it. It was more the DayZ side of things.
Oh yeah.
Until DayZ Standalone came out.
Oh,
Arma 2 is pretty dated. It's still a good game, but they've really invested a lot into Arma 3 now. So
oh, I know they just released another pack for it, didn't
looking
they?
an Alien DLC
With no aliens, right?
Yeah. But
Alien DLC with people.
Dude, what's the point? What?
I don't know. It's fucking wild. But so I played Wasteland, which Wasteland is in a sense like DayZ, but without the zombies. And there's 3 teams. So there's Blue 4, Op 4, and Independent. Blue 4 and Op 4 are 2 ginormous teams. So you can join it and be a part of a huge team, or you can join Independence and just work alone or with a group of friends. And
so it's kind of like the lone wolf team.
Yeah, Independence is like the lone wolf team, so you're fighting everybody. And all it is just it's just a consistent battle, basically. That it's just like you guys own territories, you can build forts and do little side missions that are around the map that pop up randomly.
So is it kind of like the equivalent of Foxhole that we've been playing, but in like an Arma form?
kind of like
a
that.
persistent map that keeps
It-
growing and changing.
It's not very in terms of persistence, like in terms of like it's the same map over and over again. It's not gonna change.
Oh, okay, so it's not like when you come back to it the next day, it's going to be
No.
different, or
It's more like
something's-
it's more along lines of Rust,
okay, gotcha.
but with like like 3 teams or 3.
So there's some sort of like building mechanic in it. Like, can
Yeah.
you make bases or anything?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
right
building
on.
mechanic. It's not the best because it's Arma, but it's there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty neat, especially when like you form or get together with a huge group of people and go and raid an enemy base or something like that. It's really fun.
Hey, what was that game that you had showed me there? The one I refused to play.
The horror game,
Yeah, was it like the Blackout Club or something
the Blackout
like that?
Club.
The Blackout Club's
Is that what it was called?
it's neat.
Yeah, it was
Why do you have it, Crits?
Yes, this is actually a game I can talk about.
yes,
Haha.
because I saw that Crits owned it and I'm like, ooh. And
If y'all ever
Ah.
want to play it, I am
I was
decently
I
down.
was definitely considering it. It's $30, so I don't know,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
Trey
Is it-
showed me, and I was like, nope.
so
if you,
Crits, is the enemy a player?
no, well, no,
So it's just an AI that you guys
So-
had to.
it's just an
I
AI.
actually
that
have
is-
a question.
Yes.
In the trailer for it, they showed an element of deception based on the players. Is that a part of it?
So at launch it wasn't, which was really disappointing. But now you can play as a snitch. You can kind of stalk the players and
Ah.
get the shape, it's called, to get after them sooner. Every action you
Mm.
do, like every negative action, so you can do things sneakily, or you can
Outright play the bad people that everybody
do things
knows are bad.
loud type of thing. And you
Okay.
basically have, and it's like it's not shown, you have basically a sin meter. It's not outright shown, but everything you do has like a certain level of sin. So if you kick down a door, it's going to give you a lot of sin. Too much sin, and the fucking big bad invisible unkillable bitch is going to start sprinting at your ass.
Yeah, I was reading reviews. They were saying that there's an AI character that basically runs as fast as you and is damn near indestructible.
Yes, I think you can stun him in certain ways, but his entire point of existence is to be a force of like, oh shit, time to run. But
There's something about shaped doors. What the hell are shaped doors?
shaped doors, any red door or hatch is where the shape can come out of. So every so often, you can. When I say see him, and I know I didn't say it in the first place, but when you see
Yeah.
him, you have to
close your eyes.
Yeah, it's a little in-game mechanic of closing your eyes. It's honestly not too necessary because you just run hell anyway.
Don't you see footprints though?
Only if there's foam. You can get like cans of shaving cream to throw on to the ground as if they were like
Oh, okay.
grenades. They make for a soft landing, a quiet standing area, and if the
Yeah.
shape walks over it, it leaves footprints.
Kids throwing their dad's shaving cream out the windows and jumping off the roof.
Basically.
Fuck! I just played the
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
video on accident. Oops.
There was they recently added something where you could, and you had to give it permission to, which I found interesting, but you could have it so that the game would whisper at you.
What?
I've not
Why?
experienced it. I've not ever heard it, but apparently the game could spookily whisper at you.
What
Which-
the fuck?
Yeah, I can't do
Is-
that.
That's
kinda
awesome.
shit.
Is an interesting added bit.
Jump scare mechanics in games do not jive with me at all.
It's not. I'd argue it's not too jump scare-y in the traditional sense. It's
The fucking
tense.
trailer made it look like it was.
Honestly, the game's okay. If you don't have it currently, I honestly can't recommend buying it. Definitely don't purchase it because I have it. I don't play it much.
Yeah, it's $30, so
no.
it's hard for me to.
That
Yeah.
too. It's a bit pricey. It's it's a neat game. It's a great concept. It's obviously still in early access, so it's still growing and changing.
Yeah.
But until too much else happens, I can't overly yes, get this game. That's
I got something you can definitely comment on. Crits, another game that you definitely have. Well, I shouldn't say definitely, but probably. What do you guys think about the casino in Grand Theft Auto 5?
I have not yet played with it, although Twitch Prime has given me the goods.
What is
I
this?
just mean how funny it is that all these loot boxes are coming under fire, right? Like it's online gambling. Senators are trying to make laws against it to ban loot boxes from video games and a pay-to-win mechanic. And then Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar are basically just like, oh yeah, online gambling's a problem. Casino.
Casino up.
Take
what
your
they-
money,
oh.
make them digital chips. Casino.
Oh,
God.
they put an actual like casino into Grand Theft Auto that you can play.
It's a
Yep.
legit casino. You can take your cash, buy shark cards, use the money in the game to buy chips, and you can cash out with your chips. You can even hit the fucking hit lotteries and stuff in the game and win your money back. You don't actually get cash, but you get chips and stuff that you can cash out and get in-game money.
Huh.
So
That's
quite
interesting.
literally gambling. There was a few places it was banned though. I was pretty sure there's
Shocker.
actually a lot of places that the DLC didn't actually get released to.
Oh, it's a full-fledged
shit.
DLC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
all
it's a DLC.
GTA DLC is
DLC is free.
free,
Oh,
and they have a fuckload of a DLC.
Oh, good fucking lord.
I haven't touched that game in years.
GTA also suffers from power creep, painfully.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Every new vehicle has to have 25 different forms of rockets, or
Yeah.
else it's not worth anyone's time.
You know what's
This, like,
crazy?
killed me.
What I was thinking about? I was thinking GTA 5 did so well, and it's still going strong. Like there's some places that are still selling the game for $60, and
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. But then there's Red Dead Redemption 2, and they didn't release it on PC, and it just doesn't seem like it's doing as good as Grand Theft
They
Auto.
gave up on that game. They gave up on the online on it.
Yeah. If they
Yikes.
fucking put it on PC, I guarantee you it probably would have done probably as good as Grand Theft Auto did.
Right.
Like there was, I mean, that was just a request that people have been saying for years since the first one to put it on PC. And they just don't do it. They had so many years to just put the game on PC and they didn't do it. And now it just seems like it's suffering from that.
I'm just like counting the countries right now that it's banned in.
It's like the games
at
that they don't
42.
release any
Jesus.
tools to make mods out of it.
Yeah, that's
They
another
never
thing that
last.
I was surprised that Grand Theft Auto even continued being really popular as it is, because like a month after the game released on PC or even on console, there was just like no modding. They're like no.
Wow.
Then they eventually was like, all right, you can only mod it if you're playing single player.
Yeah, they took a lot of flack for that actually, and they retracted it because they had outright banned any kind of modding.
Yeah.
But the community just dumped on them and gave them endless negative reviews, and Rockstar retracted their view of it.
Yeah.
That was quite a while ago,
It's
actually.
because like Grand Theft Auto 4 was such a huge hit with PC gamers because of the modding.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 4 did modding so well, that's unbelievable. Like, in multiplayer games, you can mod the game to shit, and everybody else will also see your mods, depending
It's
on what the
something
mod
like
was. But
54 countries that it's banned in, and basically what it says is if you want to know if GTA's online casino is banned, you'll get a message in game basically saying this feature is not available for you when you try to play it, which means that
I'm
your country
surprised the
more
game
than
itself
likely
is
took something
letting it
against
go.
Well, yeah, just with all the controversy that's going on,
Yeah.
like I get it. Rockstar is like the South Park equivalent of gaming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just wish they were a little bit more open with certain things. It just doesn't seem like
What, like their insane earnings?
like they're. I like with the whole thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. They didn't put it on PC, but people have been asking for it for years, and they didn't do it. Like they had the opportunity.
Okay, but you know what? You can we can go way, way, way back. Halo.
Halo, yeah. I know, I agree with that one.
How long did it take for them to finally release Halo on PC? And it's a fucking Microsoft game.
Well,
And
okay.
they put Halo 1 and 2 on PC and then just gave up on PC after that. You know, originally Halo was supposed to be a Mac exclusive.
Imagine that. Like,
And it was bought out by Microsoft. Like it was originally I should show you guys, but it was so ugly.
I mean, that's one of my largest pet peeves with Halo. Is like, okay,
Man,
this is
I
a
can't wait
game.
to play Halo
It's
on the
like
Switch.
this is being made by the people who make most computers in the world.
Well,
Why
people who
the
run most
heck?
computers,
They
like
make-
they
yeah.
create our operating systems.
Yeah,
Put Halo on it.
and yet you can't spend the extra dime
It's
to
like-
just change out the control scheme and import it.
It's like, for fuck's sake, Microsoft, you put goddamn Cortana on our computers. Why not put the whole goddamn game?
Do
Mhm.
you ever actually watch the video of Halo PC versus the console release and how the PC version's actually way worse than the actual original Xbox consoles?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like all kinds of graphical issues that they had, like shit that just got messed
Yeah.
up, and like still to this day is messed up on like the Halo release.
Yeah, but Halo 1 is like the most popular PC Halo game, obviously, since it's the only one.
Yeah, because it's
But
iconic.
it's just modded to shit now because that's, people don't want to play base game anymore. Because
Right.
obviously it's an old game. They don't fucking support it anymore. So they just mod the shit out of it.
Nah, my old
And
Battlefield
then
game.
there was a have you guys ever played Halo Online?
No, I have not.
Halo Online was originally a free-to-play Halo game for PC that was exclusive to Russia.
Ah,
And the Halo community was like, what the fuck? And so they
Come on,
took
why Russia?
the game files and modded it the shit to make it work on PC. And then this group called El Dorito, they created a fully revamped version of Halo Online completely free. It was all modded and they released it. And a month later, Microsoft like shut it down because they were like, "Oh, you're using our assets and shit like that." They wanted to sue and all that. And 343 was like, they didn't care. They were like, "Well, it's cool. Why can't they do that?" You know. But Microsoft's like, "No,
Right.
no, 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 no." So,
easy.
They pulled a Twitch.
yeah, basically.
Oh,
And so a whole like year goes by, and they finally announce Halo MCC on PC and Halo 6 and all that for PC. And they also, the El Dorito team announced that they are going to be working with 343 on the modding aspect for MCC.
Oh, nice.
So
Think
they
about
actually got a job with 343 to do that stuff. So Halo MCC is not going to have modding right out the bat, right when it releases, because they want to make sure, like 343 is really dedicated to making sure Halo is the best it can be on PC.
It's
'Cause
good.
they-
At least
they-
somebody cares.
They don't want another MCC on Xbox, because that
Hell.
was just a fucking shit show.
it's about damn time.
Like 343 has fucked up too many times to fuck up again.
Hello Games.
Yo, they're like the god of fuck ups.
Bethesda.
Now,
It's a feature.
um, Hello Games have really uh
Oh, they've redeemed
they've
themselves
redeemed
time and
itself
time again.
like a lot. I'm really happy about that. Although I haven't continued playing the game because
Honestly, I think the shit show that happened with them, a lot of it, I would assume, not to say that I know, I would assume a lot of it came from Sony's end of it, just wanting to generate the hype, meaning mainly based on the fact that Sony was advertising it so heavily.
yeah,
So
it could be a mixture of that and the fact that like it's one of their first big games and maybe the
You
guy
mean
wanted to
Joe Danger wasn't a big game?
I was thinking maybe like the guy wanted to, have his game out and like with the proper like all the stuff he promised.
Yeah, like the
But
sun actually, staying still and the planets
yeah,
rotating around the sun and not light
well, the
boxes and
big thing was
ripping on all the games that
multiplayer.
use those. Yeah, you'd be able to see each other, and then on
Yeah,
day one,
but
they're like,
he's
"Oh,
because
but
he
the odds
started
of finding each other
saying,
are never going to happen."
yeah, that was very disappointing. And then eventually somebody figured out that it's not multiplayer at all. It's a single player game.
Day one, they
Yeah.
found each other the first day it came out. They were standing on the exact same planet in the exact same spots with two
Yeah.
streamers live, and they
Yeah.
could not see each other.
Yeah.
because here's the thing. If you're going to at first say that you could see each other, it's just nigh impossible, then you have to make sure that's actually thing, because it's real easy to test that, because
But I mean, in his defense, the odds were still astronomical because
Yeah.
if you spent 1 second on each planet in that game, our sun would literally burn out before you've seen every single planet in that game. So the odds of two people finding each other on the exact same planet at the exact same time.
Yeah. It's
I played a lot.
also it's also the same thing that happened, or that not the same thing that happened, but it's the same concept as what's that one game? Elite Dangerous.
Oh yeah.
No, Elite is
Elite
finite.
Dangerous is supposed to be it's supposed to be a mapping of
I mean,
was it
Yeah,
Milky
the
Way
Elite
Galaxy?
Dangerous is like an almost exact map of Milky Way Galaxy.
Yeah.
And
I just like that
that's
you can go
fucking
find the
sick.
Voyager
Like you can
probe.
just look at any star and you can say, yeah, I can go there. It'll just take me forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the expedition that they do, what
To
was
the
it? Like,
center.
yeah, no, they did one where they did one side to the other, like they went across the galaxy.
Oh, I think that
The
was
guy,
14 days. If I
oh fuck, it was a
remember.
lot more than that. It was
Think?
going on for like months. Yeah, it was months. It was a few thousand players, and then by the end of it, it was like a handful of players actually survived
I
and
heard
made it.
about that. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
I mean, other people heard about it and they started creating raiding parties to go and find them to stop their journey. It was like super cool, like really
Yeah.
intense shit.
It's really cool. I used to play Elite Dangerous in VR.
Like the guy that
is.
originally did it, when he went from one side of the galaxy to the other, the reason why he ended up getting a whole bunch of other people to come along with him was because he had created kind of like a roadmap of like tourist attractions for them to go and check out along the way. So they had like each day they would kind of hit like a certain point, and as long as you made it to say a certain system with a certain planet, then you were good to go to the next day kind of thing, and you could just mess around in the meantime in that area.
Yeah. There's
Super
another
interesting.
space game that I really want to play. And what was it called? Starts with an S.
Is that the one that they're building
That-
forever? and it's
yeah,
still never gonna finish it?
they've been making it for years and they haven't fucking finished it. And people have already spent thousands of dollars in the game.
I did.
fuck.
I paid
You
for that.
did? What? Oh.
What's it
Paid
called?
150 for starter ship.
What's the game called?
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen,
Yeah.
yes. That game, I played a little bit of it when it was available for a bit. And my first experience was I got into a ship. We went warp speed. We were going warp speed. And I was like, oh, let me open this door and jump out. and I opened the door and jumped out and died. And I was like, oh, that was interesting.
See, the issue with that though isn't so much like necessarily the game itself. It's the development process. It's the way that they're developing it, and the fact that if everybody that's been commenting on the way that they've been doing it, it's been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I saw a fight thing between a couple players that they had on like a planet, and I thought it looked really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I've seen that too. Where they do like the drop ships and then open
Yeah.
up the doors and all the guys run out and like
Yeah.
blast the ship.
That was really cool. I
There's
really
a whole
want to play
bunch of
that.
streamers that were doing that.
I need to finish it because I want to play it.
Yeah, I just don't like the
I
idea that you
doubt.
can buy like $1,000 ship in the game.
I
doubt they're gonna finish it though. It's so big of an
Yeah.
idea to produce.
Oh, it's like that other Kickstarter. What the hell was that one called? Where it was like basically like living a life online, kind of like GTA, but everybody was like, "No, don't purchase it, don't buy into it. It's a scam. Like it's never gonna be real." I think it was Raw.
Hmm.
I
I'm
think it
not
was
sure.
called Raw.
Don't look at me, Chief.
And it kind of reminds me of there was this game on Kickstarter that I saw. I forgot the name, but the entire game was like a survival game. But if you died, you couldn't play anymore.
I
That's
see a game like that.
Like
interesting.
it was like if you died, you're done. You're not allowed to play anymore.
I actually
character was
purchased
done.
a game like that on Steam once. It was a game of Russian roulette.
I played
where
that. Yes.
Yeah, and as soon as you died, you were out. You could not join. You could play, you just could not play competitively. You could never ever again play on the leaderboards.
Yeah. I thought that was wild.
Interesting.
That
It's
kind
like
of
a
those kind of
hardcore
games
mode.
are those kind of games are pretty interesting, but it's like
That to me
There's-
just feels like, why would you purchase?
I would think maybe even doing like a a week-long ban if you died.
That'd be kind of cool. Give people a reason not to die.
Yeah.
Wish GTA had something like that.
Like if you died, it's like, all right, you got to wait a week until you can play again. And then if people would get really serious about it, people would be like, all right, well, I don't want to die because I want to play this game more.
Yeah, they should do a Sword Art Online version like that where you get 10 banned every time you die for a week. There's one issue with that though. As soon as you introduce hackers to a game like that,
Oh,
where
yeah.
somebody's found an exploit and they mass kill a bunch of people without consequence, you're going to have a lot of very pissed off individuals.
Yeah,
Not to mention the
Yeah.
person that is able, like they're always going to get ahead and the other people are never going to be able to advance, you know?
Yeah, it's a very hard area to get into. But I
To
think
find like, a reasonable way to do it would be extremely difficult.
I think that they should do it. Like do a game like that, but like the first year make it so that you can respawn immediately. And so like they can test out all the bugs and shit like that, all the exploits.
You would need a damn good fucking anti-cheat though to
but
stop things like what 9K is saying from happening.
oh yeah.
Yeah, there's always going to be some Chinese guy or some Russian kid that figure it out, though.
Make the game $120. They won't do it.
True.
Oof.
If they do that, they'll then immediately get banned, but then nobody will buy it.
And then they'll have hacked copies.
Yeah.
They need to make a anti-cheat that's more invasive. That's the only thing that they need to do. It's
And
the
if
only
they're-
way.
An
Yeah.
anti-cheat that
there's one-
requires your social security number
Pretty much. Address.
and the 3 wacky digits on the back of your credit
Your
card.
credit card. And if there's one thing that we had America,
An anti-cheat that
Like,
slashes your
but-
tires.
you have to like register your license plate, and then if you cheat, they send a representative to your house and
Yeah.
slash your
Shows up at
tires.
your work.
Fucking slashes your neck. Just kills you.
Pounding on the desk at your work. Hey, you.
Kills you automatically.
Heard you were cheating there. Yeah, last night. Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. We're going to break your legs.
Right. Okay, so basically we want an anti-cheat that's just the mafia.
Yeah, the Italian mafia anti-cheat. There we go. We can just fund that. Let's fund that.
That needs to be what it's called. The Italian Mafia anti-cheat.
We'll source them out of Las Vegas. It'll be perfect.
Mild racism.
You know, I mean, that's where most of the mafia were, right? Originally, Las Vegas.
Fuck if I know, dude. We don't get taught that in school, which is a shame because it's interesting.
Oh, it's great. Al Capone.
Where did the
Fuck that.
mafia originate? Area 51.
Area 51, we gotta raid them.
Roswell, New Mexico.
But while you bastards are out here trying to raid Area 51 like a bunch of idiots, me and my boys are gonna be out here taking Jerusalem back from the Holy Lands.
There you go.
I honestly can't wait to see the news coverage for that because I fucking know some asshole's gonna show up.
Someone.
Yeah, you know what's funny
At
is it like the
least
meme
one.
has died.
It's gonna be a man from Florida.
It has, eh?
Hopefully the
Florida
internet
man.
heard.
Florida man.
Florida man storms Area 51 alone.
Yeah,
Thousands
only one
found
to show
dead.
up. What?
Suspects
Florida
still
man
on the
high
run.
on methamphetamines storms Area 51, kills thousands.
Bath salts.
High on bath salts and methamphetamine, kills thousands. Don't know where he is.
Speaking of not knowing where said assailant is, they still have yet to find those two killers in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, they've made it all the way across the country without being caught so far, and all they've had is leads. They've yet to, they've yet to actually get anything.
Damn.
They don't even know where they are. They've done a really good job of staying off the grid. I can say that much.
Mhm.
Sneak 100.
They just walk into a store, say sorry.
Yeah. Problem here in Canada is like quite literally all they would have had to do is like shave their heads and facial hair, and then they would have been like, "Oh yeah, that's not the guy." Who would shave their beard in Canada?
A madman.
Not the
A
Bears.
madman.
Not a terrorist.
Definitely not somebody suspicious. Christ.
Yeah, but hopefully they get caught because last I heard they were actually in my province, in the north of my province.
They're gonna come over here. Pretty sure.
Yeah. You think?
Making their way downtown.
Oh yeah.
Walking fast.
Oh, they'll stick out like a sore thumb if they go to your neck of the woods.
What do you mean?
Two English-speaking people in Quebec.
Yeah.
Holy fuck,
go-
Carson! I crossed over from.
Go to Montreal. Yeah, you didn't go to Montreal.
Unless they know French.
I crossed over from New Liskeard into Notre Dame, which is quite literally a 5-minute drive away, and it was like going from English land to what the fuck is English land?
It's going from English land to Frenchy territory.
Frenchy
real
territory.
fucking quick.
An
They
Englishman
just
walks into a
automatically-
Frenchy. Sorry.
Yeah, they just automatically assume you speak French.
It's their law.
It's like Englishman walks into a
It's-
Frenchy part of town. Everybody retreats.
Wait, you're telling me it's law for them to have to speak in French first?
Oh, the first, I'm not sure, but it's law that both language should be displayed. Maybe not spoken, but I think displayed.
but definitely not spoken.
Yeah.
Fucking
'cause
there go
we
wee
have
wee.
to do that too.
God
How-
damn it.
How
Fucking-
difficult is it to learn English, though?
Yeah. Hey,
You think
Jake,
you could just say those type of things, Dreadix, and expect nobody to realize?
You're the only one that seemed to realize.
I swear to God.
ever pull up to an arrête sign?
A what?
To a what?
Arrête?
Type that in Discord, please.
An audad?
got-
Definitely not saying it right. A-R-R-E-T.
Do you got fucking Tourette's?
Arrête.
An arrest?
No,
I
it's
don't-
arrêt. Arrêt.
Yeah,
there you
arrêt
go.
is that
I
stop.
said it the most English.
What's that? What does that mean?
It's stop sign. It's a stop sign.
Oh,
Yeah, their
Like-
stop signs don't say stop. They say
No.
that.
Arrêt. Stop.
I'll be honest. The one thing that annoys me most in French is how they spell bird.
Oiseau.
Yep, it is 7 letters that all don't say what they should.
I remember that meme. Yeah.
I mean,
7 letters of bullshit
I mean,
and lie.
poop in Japanese is just completely different.
Oh,
It's unko.
It's more liquidy.
oh
Unko.
fuck.
And all the video I've watched, it's always liquidy. I don't know
God
why.
damn it.
What do they eat in there?
Unko.
What do they eat in
Liquid
there?
uncle.
Fish. Uncooked fish. I will never understand sushi.
See, the thing that always killed me about the French language is like you could look at a sign that was in English and then you could look at the French translation of it, and it was almost like you tick all the words, flip them around so that they're backwards, and then you have to throw in at least 4 or 5 more words to make the same translation.
Wasn't the reason for that because when people were writing back in the day, they were paid by letter, not by word?
I have no idea.
I don't know. That sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I mean,
right?
Bullshit.
Could be.
So it's like how German is, but with dots.
You mean umlauts?
Okay, you fucking German bitch.
Well, like you see a sign that's got like 2 English words on it, and then the French translation is like a fucking paragraph. And every time I see that, I'm always thinking in my head, like, what the fuck are they telling the French that they're not telling me?
Right? It's kind of like
What are you hiding?
Yeah, like what kind of extra info do they have? Like they're getting a detailed description. I'm getting stop here, and they're getting stop here. If you don't, you're gonna die. And
That's
it's like,
true, though.
oh,
That's
okay.
true, yeah.
It's like I'm
Fucking
like because I'm learning a lot of Japanese, but with Japanese characters, like one character can mean an entire sentence,
Right. Yeah, no, I've seen that.
and it's just like, what?
how?
Languages.
Am I right,
Fuck.
fellas?
Am I right?
Well, here, let me find a sign. I'll find an English sign with a French translation
Hey,
on it.
Carson,
I
It's
bet
got
I
quite
bet you saw the
significantly
video of the guy that's was talking about the numbers and how French numbers are so fucking difficult.
Well, yeah, like me trying to ask you what 80 was so I
80,
could get my
it's
fucking
80.
order of food.
What?
Carson,
Yeah.
And then
80 is
okay, but
80
hold
in
on.
French.
I need you to say.
And then
sentence.
what's 8 and what is 0 in French?
8 is
Oh,
8,
like separate,
0 is
right?
0.
Right. So when you put those two together, how the fuck do you get 80?
So there's no pattern. It's just
No, there is patterns.
But
Stupid pattern.
Do you get it? Like you take
dumbass ones.
like I get it. Like 80, we don't say 80, we say 80. So obviously 80 is, different than
now-
saying 80, but it's
Yeah.
just
Yo, Carson, how do you say 420?
420.
What? How do you say 4?
4.
cat.
4.
2
2.
and 0 is 0.
0.
What?
This is painful.
But 400, 400, 400.
Okay, now German just follows a simple fucking system.
Yeah, German's a lot easier for counting.
German's not.
I bet.
Because sure, once at a certain point when you first hit it, it's a little strange, but then after that, it's just 21, 1 and 20, 21.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense.
I mean, it's all about context.
But, dude, Vietnamese, I wish Royal was here because holy shit, Vietnamese is wild.
I don't doubt that for 2 fucking seconds.
It's funny, any language that you don't speak regularly is like
Yeah, but
mind blowing.
There's some languages that I can understand, understand how it works. But then there's French.
Because no, it's all they're all wrote with the same alphabet.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you take Russian, it's like you have these other characters in there.
It's like I'm looking at you, Russia, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch a YouTuber that actually spoke like I don't know, I think it was like 20 different languages or whatever. Just
How
to
do
see
you
the
keep
black guy?
track of that?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Lao
Yeah, I
Shu
love
or
him.
Lao Show or whatever. Yeah, he to see the reaction on people's faces when he just starts speaking in their language is just
Crazy.
remarkable. All he's doing is just talking to them in their native tongue.
How do you keep track of all that in your head?
I don't
The
know.
thing is,
That's
all the
wild.
languages are similar, right? So you kind of learn dialects.
I know probably the easiest language to learn apart from English is Spanish, just because of how similar it is.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
Spanish is probably the most similar language to English there is.
Really? I didn't
Mhm.
know that. It's funny because I actually hear that it's hard for English people and that English is hard for French people. Like and I understand why English would be hard for French people just because there's so many exceptions.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's
And like
so
it's really
complicated.
hard to explain an exception to somebody when
Yeah.
they don't know what it means. Okay, here, Carson. I posted a sign here. It's a
Stop
stop
here.
here sign. It says stop here until lane is clear. That's all it says. If you look underneath in the French side of it, has a whole extra line on it. What does that say down there, Carson?
So, arrêtez-vous ici means stop here. Jusqu'à ce que la voie soit libre until lane is clear. It's basically
So
saying
it's the same thing.
you should stop right here until the lane is clear.
So it's
Right,
saying the
okay.
same thing. It just takes longer.
It's
Right.
like more precise, I would say.
That's just it. That's exactly what I was saying. It's like the English version is the dumbed down version. It's like they don't expect us to understand, and then in French they're very precise with the way that they say.
But
it's not.
I mean,
you got to stop here. It's you should stop here because it's advised that you do so.
Even if I'm reading this, to me, even the English part is very clear to me. French is just that
it's cool.
it's fucking it's just too much words for a little instruction.
Right. Like
Person,
it just I don't
say you're a piece of shit in French.
Mm.
You have to put the in French part at the end of it too.
Yeah.
I have to think about how I want to say it though, because you could be very clinical and you could be real like Québécois about it.
I don't
Hmm.
know
So
what that means,
the real
but
Give us both
Québécois
versions.
one, the Québécois one would be "T'es un tas de marde."
That's,
So
that was pretty short.
let me write that down. Let's go.
Christ.
oh, he's typing. Oh, he's fucking typing.
Oh God.
Shit.
There it
So
goes.
that would be your piece of shit.
Okay.
Oh. It sounds short.
Sounds short, but then it's like an entire sentence.
It is a sentence.
What the fuck
Okay, well,
A sentence almost sounds like
it's like
a
a sentence. Hey, shut your mouth. When he was speaking, it sounded like 2 words.
Yeah, it's because we.
the tabernacle.
Yeah, that's our.
Tabernacling.
So that's the other thing with the French language. Like you guys all use rather than like us, where it's like fuck, shit, damn, bitch, cunt. You know, you guys all make references to Christianity.
Yep. Religion
which is
used to be a
so
big part of it.
weird. Yeah, it's just weird to
crazy.
think that like Christianity is the best jab that you can come at me with. Like you're using the literal tabernacle, and I'm
Mhm.
saying you're a cunt, mate. Like,
Yeah,
know
but
what I mean,
these words, they're adding to what you're saying. So you're saying "fuck you, cunt," but here saying these words is to add on top of saying that you are a cunt. We're just not saying "calice de tabarnak." We're gonna add on top of something we're already saying to emphasize how fuck you, like are big of a cunt you are.
oh, okay.
It's almost
amplifying the aggression.
Yes.
Carson, being angry French.
Hey, va donc chier, tabarnak! That would be me being pissed off.
Okay.
I fully expect that
Just
the
sit there,
next.
stare at him like.
No, crits, do angry German. Well, that's just regular German, but go ahead and do it.
I could take this in a racist way.
Do a Nazi joke in German.
There we go.
Sind Sie it?
Hey, just,
You know,
just
honestly,
9999.
nine. I mean, I don't overly. I can vaguely understand German when like reading or it's being said to me, but saying it off the top of my head, that's the part I get stuck on.
Yeah, I understand, but I do not speak.
I understand, but I do not speak.
I understand, but these
It
have
reminds me.
ein bisschen Deutsch. Es ist nicht so gut.
It reminds me a lot of when I used to learn English. When I actually started learning English when I was playing World of Warcraft back in 2004. Because if you wanted to play at high level or in a big guild, you had to speak English.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was learning it, I couldn't process thoughts in English and speaking fluently as I'm trying today. Back then, it was more mechanical, like what you're doing right now, Chris. Like you're spewing out just a bunch of words. But you can't like formulate a whole sentence.
Yeah.
Because you have to think in your language first and then translate that to whatever you want to say and then spew it out.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is with me and Japanese.
There's only a few words that I've almost replaced a few of my words with just like German. Like I rarely say like thank you. Now I just go to the German, which is just danke.
I'll do that. I'll say danke because everybody knows, like especially since I work on a military base, everybody knows German. It just seems like that.
Just in case.
But I
just in case there were around three.
But I've noticed myself starting to say arigato a lot, and people look at me like, "What?"
It starts like that, yeah. You pick up on certain words that becomes like a reflex.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even think about it anymore.
Like even when I say like
switch.
sorry, like I'll say gomenasai. But and it's just like I don't know. I say that stuff and people look at me like what the fuck, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
That's how you have to do it, though. That's the best way to immerse yourself in the language.
No. Even in VR chat, when I started learning about this fucked up sentences that I've been learning, I've just been walking up to people and just saying,
just like what you say yesterday with Mackie in stream.
Oh yeah, that was a mistake.
What did I miss?
Oh, so I went up and said, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, but I'm not gonna say the word. So I said, "Watashi wa the word des." The word that I said was the N word.
Like straight up
I didn't
RR.
realize that Maki was streaming because on my Discord it didn't say he was streaming.
Oh,
So,
9.
I like how that's the only thing that you take away from it. You're like, the only reason I wouldn't have said it was because he was streaming. Any other situation.
yeah, if he wasn't streaming, I would have said it.
He told me like 3 or 4 times.
Hey man, like Twitch is a finicky business here, man.
Dre has the N-word pass apparently, just so you guys know.
I play. We all know.
He lives in America.
At least one.
I'll get you some more information on his address if you want to steal the N-word pass from him.
Rob his house.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
He also has a 2080 Titan card.
I don't what? That doesn't make
Dibs.
sense.
I call dibs.
A 2080 Titan.
2080. Oh no, TI. I guess it's not a Titan, right?
I got to upgrade my
Titan was
1070.
card, isn't it?
I am upgrading the processor in my laptop.
That keeps screwing
how do you
me
do
up.
that?
I remember the old Titan cards,
carefully.
and every time I see TI.
God.
So of course, there's very few upgrades you can do to certain laptops because they are their motherboard
Memory,
type of thing.
hard drive. That's about it.
Good luck with that upgrade, Chris. Holy shit.
No, honestly, not too hard. I found a
You can get dedicated graphics cards for laptops that are
Like-
actually separate. Like my Asus ROG actually has a
core.
dedicated graphics card.
The graphics aren't the issue.
it-
It's just that its fucking processor is a piece of shit. It can barely run basic like art software. And this is
Yikes.
supposed to be my school laptop, and also it doesn't run League at more than 20 FPS. So, my main reason is because I want my League of Legends on the go, because I'm addicted, obviously.
The issue isn't necessarily saying that you can't say swap out the graphics card on a laptop. It's just so much as the fact that when they create the laptop, they make it in such a way that it fits the one that it's currently using. So if you were to say switch the graphics card, even if the motherboard could take it, you probably wouldn't have the room for it.
Luckily, I'm not switching the graphics card.
No, because people don't buy laptops to swap graphics cards.
Yes.
That would be stupid.
But yeah, I'm switching that out. That'll be fun.
See, I made the mistake of dropping $1,600 on a gaming laptop, and I mean, albeit it did last me a hell of a long time. I mean, like I got 7+ years out of it, and for
That's
a
pretty
computer,
good.
that's incredible.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty good.
Damn good.
It's just the simple fact that you can't upgrade it.
you can't do anything to it. There's nothing I can take from it. I can't carry anything
There's-
over. Like
there's
even
only
if
a
my desktop
little
was
bit.
7 years old.
Like, there's only a little bit that you can upgrade from it, and that's like the RAM and
Right.
the hard drive. That's about it.
But like saying if my current gaming desktop right now was 7 years old, I'd still be able to use the power supply. I'd still be able to use the case. If the fans weren't fried, I could use the fans. Like there's definitely stuff in there that
Yeah.
can be used.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
just like I'm
understand.
doing with my old gamer setup. I'm using it as a second server.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, there's benefits to both. Like with laptops, it's like it's on the go gaming, and it's easy to use, easy to just kind of open up and play.
See, I had it because at the time it was for school, and all of my friends bought into the whole MacBook Pro, and they were dropping like $2,000 and $3,000 on laptops, and I dropped $1,600 on a gaming laptop that blew theirs out of the water.
Yeah.
And every one of them asked me if I would trade, and I was like, not a fucking chance.
Oh, of course not. I had a gaming
Why would
laptop
you
that
ever?
lasted me a good 4 years, even though I barely used it.
I actually did own a MacBook Pro at one point, though.
I did as well. I got it from my grandparents, like as a hand-me-down.
I got it to sell it.
How did the therapy go?
What?
How did you survive?
Oh well,
It-
here's what happened for mine. At the time I was working at a store, and like, it was an electronics store. What ended up happening, we had an older gentleman that came in, and his well, I guess it was his nephew, had told him to purchase a MacBook Pro, and he did the stock exchange. And all of his programs for the stock exchange were not compatible with Mac, so he was losing money hand over fist on his stocks because he couldn't trade. So rather than hemorrhage cash in stocks, he just wanted to get rid of his computer and wanted to get a PC again. So I told him, I was like, well, how long ago did you buy it? And he's like, well, I bought it a couple weeks ago. And I said, well, then why don't you just return it and get your money back? And he's like, well, I already bought the Apple Care for it. That's like another $500. I'd rather just sell it.
Yeah.
So I just asked him, I said, like, how much do you want for it? And like, can you produce like the receipt and show me everything that you have for it? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Brought it in. It was something to the tune of like $3,500 or $3,600 once everything was all said and done, shipping, warranty, all that. And I ended up nabbing it off of him for about $1,500.
That's a good deal.
That was bad.
Yeah. I used it for a year, and then I actually sold it for $1,800.
Aha.
Not bad. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of fun and kind of infuriating all at the same time. I fucking hated it.
So I am when I had a Mac, I loved the Mac OS for certain things. Like video editing software, photo editing
I
software.
loved the organization of the OS, and that was it.
It was very clean, and I liked it for that. But I also installed a second partition of Windows on it, so I can do other things.
So that would have been great.
So that's what I did for my dad's computer, because he has a Mac Mini, which is like a tiny desktop. And
Okay. Yep. Is it
I
like the little capsule?
it's like a plate, like a thick
Oh,
plate.
fuck. Okay.
It's a small form factor.
Yeah, it's very small, but it's really nice. He got it for like $200 because it was on sale.
Oh, can't argue then.
And what I did
Yeah.
for him is install Windows as a second partition because he does a lot of drone stuff and he edits his drone videos and stuff like that. And Mac just doesn't support the
You
file
can do
format.
editing on a $200 computer?
It's Mac. It's a Mac computer. They usually have decent processors for their hardware or for their software.
Yeah, that was the only thing I liked about Mac.
That's the
but
benefit of Macs because what they do is they build their software around their hardware. So that's why you can't really upgrade it necessarily. You can, but it's finicky.
not to the benefit of you.
Yeah.
See, the thing with the Mac was everybody always told me, like, if I had a Mac, if I had a MacBook Pro, Photoshop would run faster, Illustrator would calculate 3D objects quicker, everything would go better in terms of Adobe, and none of it was true. Every rendering I ever did on my laptop with my Asus popped out a lot quicker on my Asus than it ever did on my MacBook Pro, and they were purchased basically around the exact same time, and they were both like the same year laptop. There was, the only difference being obviously one was Mac, one was Microsoft, but my Microsoft computer had no issue whatsoever when it came to rendering stuff.
There's a good possibility it could have been the graphics card in the gaming computer.
Yeah, maybe offloading some of it to the GPU. I didn't do any like Adobe Premiere or anything like that. It was basically just design programs.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Oh, as he yawns.
Yeah, no. I didn't mean it in that way.
In my case, I think Mac is more built for just a simple computer to be used.
Yeah.
Goes the web, internet, your mail, whatever.
It's good.
It's perfect for your parents.
It's pricey, yes, but it's very
becoming
secure.
more of a clout company than anything else. It's not even
Oh, it
about
is.
being,
Oh no, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Apple's
better
clout.
or anything. It's just fucking, oh, you're trendy. This is design. This is
Oh yeah, for sure.
It appeals to the OCD side of people, and that's about it.
Oh well, lie. The machines are beautiful. They're very
they're very pretty.
Yeah.
Very sleek
Yeah,
and
they're
everything.
classy looking.
The only Apple stuff that I'll use is my iPhone and my iPad. That's it. I won't use their
Fucking
computers.
hate iPhone.
I like both. I just prefer Apple, just because
I
I
just
like.
find Apple phones are like the dumbed down version of an Android.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it in that aspect, honestly, but for me, and my phone is just a social media, texting, call.
yeah.
I don't even game on my phone anymore.
Mobile gaming.
I used to play a lot of games on my phone, but
Okay.
and at the time when I switched over to iPhone, I was into Snapchat a lot, and Snapchat just ran better on my iPhone on iPhones instead of Android.
Okay, well, that must have been a while ago then.
No, that was a while ago. I know it's a lot better now, but
You got games on your phone?
I do.
but there's like I only use my phone for like browsing Discord, Reddit, you know, watching YouTube videos and just not even gaming. I don't even really.
This is what kills me is Razer made like those gaming phones. They've even made the second version of it now. They've got the Razer Phone 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why? There's no AAA games for mobile gaming yet. Like, it doesn't exist. And what does exist out there is all pay to win bullshit.
There's one thing I want for mobile right now, and that's I want League of Legends to somehow put Teamfight Tactics on mobile.
It's mostly for the Asian market.
Oh yeah, the Asian market is huge with mobile gaming.
Yeah, no, it's entirely mobile games.
They all fucking play PUBG and that's all.
And Fortnite.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Fortnite here.
Yeah, thank you, Carson.
Yeah, it's mostly built for them.
Yeah, I get it.
One mobile game. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
One mobile game I am actually looking forward to seeing and playing is that like Minecraft
Legends.
Earth.
I knew you were gonna say that. And
Yep, yep.
that just made me so happy because I am
I-
actually looking forward to that.
The Pokemon Go equivalent of Minecraft.
Yes, and it's AR compatible and everything. You can build your home, like in your home.
Trey goes home. His house is built on his bed. Oh, look at my bed home.
And
Look
you
at
can
my
see
little-
like
I-
other players in it too. It's really cool.
I look forward to it entirely. I think that's just going to be a lot of fun.
Is it multiplayer?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can go and see your creations.
Yes.
Yeah, as long
You
as
can
we're
see
near each
other
other.
into
people's-
your room.
If you are in his room, you can see whatever he's built in there.
Okay, you gotta be in his room. Gotcha. I
Yeah,
was
we
gonna say,
gotta
probably.
be.
in the game, you go over to somebody's house, like,
Yeah,
There's not too
it's-
much known about it. I know you'll
it's
be
only-
like walking around, and
I-
there'll be like resources to tap. Basically,
I know
so there's
that
the other blocks.
in order to see your friends or anybody's creations and stuff, you have to invite them to your little world.
Oh, that's nice.
So like you can't just walk up to somebody and just start destroying their home
I
while they're
wish-
playing it.
yeah,
I hope that
that's
you can at
not-
least see what they're building. Like,
Can you imagine all
No,
the
you can't do that either.
rage-inducing moments you can make, fucking
damn,
with like 9-year-olds and TNT blocks and just blowing up all their creations?
there is minimal redstone, so that is possible. I honestly hope they add in full on like redstone, like every component,
That'd be awesome.
because then people are gonna go fucking haywire.
Yeah, you go like downtown where you would expect to see like somebody's created like this massive Minecraft village, and it's just a post-apocalyptic wasteland of everybody destroying each other.
What they need to do is I don't know how they're gonna do it, but making like a one server for all kind of deal, where it's just like you walk over and
I
you
got
can
a
just see other
question
people.
for you guys actually with regards to Pokemon Go, just to kind of ask something about that. In our city, whenever it's a long weekend and you go downtown, there's certain spots in our city where there's gyms set up for Pokemon Go, and every long weekend there's a group of people in each of these spots that are there playing Pokemon Go, and I'm talking like groups of like 20 to 30 people in like 5 to 6 locations all the way down our waterfront.
Holy shit!
Wow.
And that's all they're doing is playing Pokemon Go, and it just kills me because it doesn't matter how old the game gets, they're always there playing it.
I thought it was dead.
I mean, I know it's not 100% dead because a lot of my friends kind of still play it, but I tried to play. I couldn't get into it. A part of that is because I don't have unlimited data,
I
so I
remember
can't
when
just
it
be
first
running
came
around
out.
burning
What-
my data.
When it first came out, we were going for a drive. It was at night. We were driving downtown Main Street, and basically we have to like head over an overpass. And as I was driving down Main Street, I ran by my buddy Matt, who was outside playing it at the time, running around downtown in our city looking for fucking Pokemon in the middle of the night. And he had like a group of maybe about 5 or 6 of his buddies with him. And I just like randomly fucked with them, and I was like, oh yeah, just so you know, like if you guys go like 3 streets over, there's a Jigglypuff. And they're like, what, where? And I'm like, that way. And sure as shit, they all fucking just up and took off. And I was like, ain't shit over there.
That was
Got
kind of
'em.
how it was when Pokemon Go first came out. I started walking around in my neighborhood, and I would just see just hordes of people just walking down the road playing Pokemon Go, and I'm like,
It caused,
holy fuck,
many
dude!
traffic accidents too.
That was crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's, you know what, that's funny. It's actually a stat that I use when people come into my vape shop and they argue with me about vaping. I always hit them with, just so you guys know, more people have died to Pokemon Go than vaping.
Oh, that's actually.
It's
I wish-
accurate.
I
And
wish
the
I
other-
used that in my presentation. Fuck.
More people have died to selfie sticks than vaping.
Damn.
Oh god, that could have been so good during my presentation.
You can
It's
use
true.
pretty much everything. More people.
It's
Yeah.
just it's just funny because I get people that like they bastardize me for the fact that we have like a vape shop, but they don't know the facts. They just go off what they hear or what their government tells them, and unfortunately, a lot of it is very, very propaganda. It's very very much the agenda of the government, and the fact that they they can't tax it, or they don't tax it yet. Shouldn't say they can't tax it. They most certainly can. They just don't yet. Not to the degree that they tax cigarettes. So when people switch from cigarettes to vaping, it's a burden on them. It's a problem because they make a lot of money off smokes. You might think they want you to quit, but they really don't.
Yeah, it's
Especially in the States. Like,
I get
the
a lot of
government
shit from. I'm sorry.
bailed out the tobacco industry.
I get a lot of shit from my coworkers about the fact that I vape, and they always say like it's really bad for me, and I'm like, do you have the facts that prove that?
I love when smokers tell me to stop.
Oh yeah,
That's-
no, that I've had that before. I've had that before, and I'm
Ironic.
like, what are you talking about?
That's like a meth addict telling you not to drink beer.
Exactly.
It's gonna kill your liver. Cocaine's great. Like, what?
Fucking does a line right there.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just
Lord.
doesn't make sense.
It's-
The way I like to compare it is you're trying to compare a loaded gun to a Nerf bullet.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's still doing something to you, but it's not as deadly.
yeah. Like
Well, yeah,
don't do it just to be like trendy and fun. Like don't
Oh, yeah,
vape
see,
for
that's
just to
the
be
sure.
trendy
thing.
and
That
fun,
is the
but
thing that kills it, though. Is
That
the
is
fact
the
that,
issue.
like,
Is
just do it if you are smoking. Consider vaping.
it is a smoking cessation apparatus. It's made to be put in place for you to find an alternative, a less harmful alternative, not a healthy alternative, a less harmful alternative to smoking.
And
The
potentially
idea of it wasn't to quit. Yeah, the idea is to eventually get off of everything. The only thing that should technically go in your lungs is air.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it's anything other than that, then really you shouldn't be doing it.
because you
Just do
can
like me.
change
Funny
the amount
story about
you
that
go
though.
in.
About
to your juices.
putting random stupid shit in your lungs. I had a customer actually that came into my store once looking for a pop flavored juice. He was unable to find one that he liked. He was very adamant and very specific about the flavor he was looking for. He wanted a Pepsi flavored e-liquid. It had to be Pepsi. It couldn't be Coke because he could tell the difference apparently. So
You can't?
I just yeah, I can when I'm drinking it, but not vaping it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, Pepsi hasn't trademarked a vape juice yet.
yeah. I've
I've
had the Coca-Cola vape juice. It tastes exactly like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, so the
Wow.
thing that killed me
Weird.
was I don't have a Pepsi flavored juice. Like I've had Coke flavored juices before, like cola or Coke. But the thing is like he needed Pepsi. It had to be Pepsi. So I just said to him, like, that's super specific. It's going to be really hard to find. I mean, I'm sure it's out there. I just don't have it. So, a week goes by. This guy comes back to the store and he's like, my coils aren't working. I'm having a really hard time getting vapor to come out of my mod. It's not firing right. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me take a look at it. And I look at it, and the wattage is fine for the coil that is running. Everything seems to be checking out good in terms of resistance. And I just look at the tank, and I'm like, what the hell do you have in there? I'm like, it's like super brown. It was, oh yeah, well, I couldn't find a Pepsi vape juice, so I just put Pepsi in my tank.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So he had been vaping Pepsi for a week, or trying to vape Pepsi, and I'm like, you realize that you're
That
putting
can't
this in
be
your
bad.
lungs, right?
Or
Oh
that
yeah,
can be
that
good.
is
I mean, sorry.
absolutely
Yes,
horrible
you
for
don't
you.
do that. Don't
No,
do
you do not do that.
That reminds me of the time
I
where
hope it
some,
continued.
that reminds me of this one time I saw on the internet where somebody fucking vaped their cum.
Why? Why? God has left the server. Okay, continue.
See, dumb shit like that fucking kills it, though, right? Like, it's bad enough that people are like, "Oh, you vape, you're gay," and then it's like, not as gay as the guy vaping his jizz.
Oh my God.
Now, go on.
What I was hoping that you would do, 9K, is just put like a Pepsi label on one of the Coca-Cola flavorings and see if you could actually just.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like, hey man, we got some in, and if he didn't call you out on it, just
just to give you an idea of what kind of guy we're dealing with here. The guy used to come in wearing the same pair of jeans every day. He had a Marvel sweater. with
Oh,
a
no.
backpack.
You could just say
he
he had a
wasn't
Marvel sweater on, and that.
Yeah, and he had a Spider-Man hat that he would wear.
Oh, he's
and
disgusting.
He's wearing glasses that have broken, and rather than getting a replacement pair, has hot glued the lens together.
Oh, save some
And,
coochie for the rest of us.
Yeah. Fucking get out of the way, Kyles. Here comes Marvel Man.
Here comes
he's
Brad.
quite clearly there's obviously a mental deficiency there, but the problem with it is that he buys a lot of vapes from us, and it's because what he usually ends up doing is if we refuse to sell to him, which we have a couple times, because honest to God, he's a danger to himself, and I can accept that, and I can sacrifice money to save somebody from killing themselves with a vape. But if we don't sell it to him, he'll just send in one of his helpers or his workers that usually walk around with him for the day just to make sure everything's okay, and they'll actually come in and buy it and give it to him.
It's all right. I mean, it's gonna thin the air at the end of the day.
I just look at it as natural selection.
Exactly.
It is
Thinning
natural
the
selection
herd.
at that point.
Sell it to him.
That's
It's his choice. He's an adult.
Yeah, he is. He's an
There
adult.
you go.
He's there enough that he can technically function.
As it is,
At this point, you should vape gasoline.
the like
Ended up right
glycol
there.
alone is like slightly sketch, not horrible, but it's a little sketch. But then you're gonna go above and beyond. It's like, let's vape some Pepsi.
He's done some really stupid things. Like
Obviously, it's English Canada.
Let's vape some lighter fluid.
he's like
Hell
the
yeah.
customer equivalent of a hemorrhoid.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Let's
That's
vape some
so
heroin.
But I can sit at the desk, and if he calls me, it's a matter of like I'll answer his question and hang up, and he'll call me back in 10 seconds with another very common sense question, and he'll repeatedly call me. Like I've hit a point where it was like, hey, just to let you know, this is obviously a business phone, and other people have the option to call us, but at the rate of which you're calling us, they don't really have that opportunity. I'm just gonna have to ask that you maybe don't call here quite so often, or make an honest effort to look it up first. If you can't find it out, then by all means give us a shout, we'll give you the answer. But like, he'll call me with like dumb shit, and I mean dumb shit, worse than the Pepsi situation, and ask me if it's okay. He'll tell me what other stores do and ask me if what they do is okay, and it's like, I have no fucking clue, dude. I don't care what they do.
This is why I don't work in the public anymore.
Customer service is a fucking nightmare.
Dude,
Well, I know.
I'll tell you about this one time. There's this guy that
At
comes
band camp?
into no, at concentration camp.
Okay.
Anyways,
yes.
there's this customer that'll come in like 3 or 4 hours before we close and stand there with one of the display headphones just plugged into his phone, listening to music.
Oh wow.
Just standing there. And then when it comes to close, he doesn't hear that we're closing. And I'm just like, hey, man, we're closing. And he comes in with the same exact outfit every single time. And
I had a
he
woman do that to me
smells like
last week.
ass.
I had a woman come into my store after we had closed. I actually slid my door closed. I didn't lock it because usually I just slide it closed. That's enough for people to realize that we're not open. There's a big glass window in your way you can't walk through. Apparently not to this woman. So I was counting the cash and I heard the door slide. And usually if the door slides, it's either one of my buddies coming in to say hi to me or security's just like saying like, hey, and it was a woman, and she slid the door open and she walks in and she goes, are you guys closed?
Yeah.
What was the first clue?
That's like, what was the first clue? The fact that I'm counting cash?
Counting cash, the door's closed, half the lights are off. Are you guys closed?
You should.
Yeah,
You
get
should.
the fuck outta
Do you have a sign that says closed now?
People don't listen to signs.
They don't. Hard facts.
Signs are there to protect me and nothing else. That's it. Like I have no vaping signs in our store because technically speaking, we're only allowed to have 2 people in the store sampling product at any given time. You can't just vape in the store for shits and giggles. I've got it posted fucking everywhere. I've got about 3 signs on my windows. I got 1 sign on the wall behind my cash register, and I have 2 beside the juice cabinets.
This thing is so
And
funny. Like no
all the
vaping in a
time
vape
I
store.
get people. Yeah, that's law in
normal.
Canada. I got people that come in all the time, and the first thing they do when they walk through the door is they take the biggest fucking hit they can and they blow a cloud. And I used to say shit, but now I don't say fucking anything. Because at the end of the day, if tobacco enforcement wants to come into my store and give me stink about the guy that's vaping in my shop, I just point at all the signs that I have around. And if this guy's going to be ignorant to it, that's not my problem.
Yeah, true. There's a
So-
the vape shop I go to. They absolutely don't care. I mean, any vape shop that I've been to around here, they don't care if you vape in the store.
Yeah, I really don't give a shit, to be completely honest with you. If you came in my store and blew a cloud, it'd be like, yeah, all right,
Even
But
there's a
if
vape
I
shop.
get caught,
sorry.
you're fucked. Not me.
Yeah.
You're going down.
Even there's a vape shop in the mall near me, but it's like a kiosk. It's not like a
We
in
used to
this-
have kiosks.
yeah. It's
They're
like,
illegal here now.
it's a kiosk, and you know how open a kiosk is.
Yeah, they're
but-
right smack dab in the middle
Yeah.
of the mall. They might as well be a fucking table.
Yeah. So this kiosk is allowed to vape as long as you're next to the kiosk.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I was like, I saw the dude vaping. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my god.
Runs.
Just like sprints over there
Yeah.
like a fat kid, like
Well,
a fat kid in a candy store.
We have hit an hour and 26 minutes.
Oh
Oh my.
shit.
We're out
good
here
night,
talking
everybody.
from things from how French is spoken to vape to
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No.
Truck
if you guys are ready,
rodeos.
I'm ready.
Truck
Just
rodeo.
end this now. End my
I'm
life.
good. You
Yeah,
know,
just
and
end
me.
Let's just fucking end it here now.
All right.
Pack suicide, everybody.
All right,
yeah.
take one fat
Hey,
rip
man.
for the road.
All
One
right, I'm
last,
ready if you are.
you know, like put some fucking hot sauce
One
Can
last
you hear
onto a
that?
knife. One
Can
last
you hear
strip
that
of flavor
robot
town.
cock? That
Yeah,
douche flute?
Jesus. All right, guys. Thank you for
All right, good
listening to
night.
the podcast. Have a good night. Peace.
Bye.
Go to bed.